So we're on Steven Spielberg Drive, and of course we know Steven Spielberg mostly as this famous, iconic Oscar-winning director, but he was also a producer. In fact, he was a producer on Back to the Future, which is where we're seeing the Lion Estate leaks from. So Steven Spielberg is the one director that we work with the most. Not just because, you know, he's a favorite of ours, but because he genuinely knows Universal from our production standpoint, from our backlot to our hotels and international resorts. He knows it better than anybody. So he actually used to come take the tour when he was a teenager, but I'll let him tell you that story.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of us focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
So can you imagine being Steven Spielberg, 15 or 16 years old, walking around the lot, taking pictures, coming up with ideas for the stories that you wanted to tell here one day, and then fast forward 15 years later, and that's exactly what happened. We are featuring so many of his sets here on the lot, and here's one of the major ones. Welcome to Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. This movie stars Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning. Coming up on your right-hand side, you're going to see this real 747 that was purchased for this production. That's really going to be ripped apart. Now this is what we would consider a large-scale set. And large-scale sets like these have been a part of the studio tour for decades. Before this suburban neighborhood was demolished for War of the Worlds, try to imagine all of this area as Site B for Jurassic Park 3. This was also a portion of Whoville from Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And that was a football size worth of a set, Whoville. It was genuinely the size of a football field. So we love to feature large-scale sets like this, but there's a lot that goes into these productions. I know that the debris just kind of looks like it's been thrown around, the luggage, the furniture, the toys, the clothes, but these were things that were actually placed piece by piece, and production design is very important. Doesn't this kind of feel spooky? You don't necessarily need to know the movie to know that something is wrong here. So it starts to set the tone before the actors really ever say a word. So I want to pass it over quickly to Steven Spielberg and his production designer, Rick Carter, to give you some insight into the making of the War of the Worlds plane crash site.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me.
Area of the lot, it's also included in Halloween Horror Nights. So we usually have about 6 to 7 mazes that we set up behind the rides, and then we have something called Terror Tram, where you get on a tram just like this in the middle of the night with no lights at all, and we drop you off, and we're like, get out. And we're like, good luck, and it's up to you to find your way through trees and up a dirt road, and then it leads you to this plane crash site where, depending on the theme, it's up to you to find your way out of this entire experience too. So sometimes it could be The Walking Dead, sometimes it could be The Purge, which is my personal favorite. So it's all about the spooky season. It's right around the corner, y'all. So I know I say that, but it's May. Like some of us that are just like Halloween-driven people are like, oh, it's Halloween all year round. I can't wait for it to be Halloween again. So coming up on the right-hand side, we're going to see this house. This is the home of Norman Bates from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. This particular house has been a part of the studio tour for decades as well. In fact, it's been a part of the tour since we originally launched in 1964. If you're familiar with Psycho, of course you know Mother very well. She watches all the trams from the top left window. If you do want to get a glimpse of her, she'll be watching us from the top left window when we get the clear and move forward. at this moment, we're kind of just paused here. We're waiting for the clear to head down the hill because there's been a little tram traffic here lately. This is part of a lot where we do experience a little delays, but we're getting Joseph along to see if we're clear to move down the hill. With that said, did anybody know
interactive things where they're doing it again with the
different tour
for today?
Did you know that something special was happening on the tour today?
Oh no, like they're doing the same thing. It's like back in the 60s or 60s and 70s. They drop you off.
Okay. You guys, for those of you, first of all, congratulations, graduates of this year. But if you're here for the Grad Bash and you're on this tour now, you're in luck because you're the only ones from your class that's going to be able to do this, because as of 6 o'clock, no one else from Grad Bash can do this. So you picked a good time. Your timing is good. We're just waiting on the clear to move down. Did they say yay or nay? Joseph, did they say yay or nay? Okay, we have to wait. Okay, so we're going to be here for just a few extra minutes as we get the clear to move down. We do need a specific parking space for this tram, but I'm just going to tell you this now so you can kind of wrap your heads around what's going to happen. So if you didn't know, you'll be exiting the tram in about 3 minutes. And this is optional. You don't have to. You can stay with me on this tram. But for the 60th anniversary celebration of the studio tour, we've brought something back that we originally had as the staple of the studio tour. When we launched it in 1964, it was a 2-hour tour with a break in the middle. You would have an hour in the front lot, an hour in the back lot, and you would walk around, take pictures and all that. But in the middle of that tour, you would essentially get a break at the prop plaza where you could take pictures with your favorite props, characters, and cars from your favorite movies and shows. And for the 60th anniversary, we've brought that opportunity back. So once we get the clear to move down the hill, you will have the option to either stay on the tram if you would like, or you can leave the tram, go check it out, take pictures. We've got some really cool picture stops. I hope that we don't have anything spoiled so far, but we have some really cool things to see, some really cool vintage props from when we first launched as a major motion picture studio. So it's really cool. We're only doing this for the 60th anniversary. This is not something that we've been able to do or have brought back for decades. So we even created an entire VIP tour that's a separate instance from the tram tour. I know we have some VIP guests with us today. So this is really cool. So if you haven't gotten the chance to ever maybe take the VIP experience before, or if you always wanted to walk the lot, this is the chance to do that. So we'll have that opportunity to move down in just a few moments. And again, it is optional, but if you do choose to go and experience this, please take all your belongings, including your 3D glasses, because when you're ready to continue your tour, there's no guarantee that you're going to get back on this specific tram with myself and Joseph. You might get on a different tram. So thank you for hanging out with me so far. And maybe I'll see you again in a few minutes. You never know. It's up to you. It's up to you how long this can take. It is a limited stop, but sometimes, you know, people take their time and chill and take it easy. Okay. So even if you just want to stretch your legs, this is a good opportunity to do that as well. So hopefully we get the clear to move in just a few moments. Another cool thing, as we head down the hill, we've made a scale replica of LA's most iconic landmark, which is the Hollywood sign. It's going to be on our right-hand side as we round the corner down the hill. And while we're celebrating our 60th anniversary, the Hollywood sign has been commemorating its centennial year, so it's pretty special. And again, this is going to be on our right-hand side as we round the corner here down the hill. And we do have a picture opportunity with this as well at our plaza. Okay, so once again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with Joseph and I. If you do plan to stay, you can stay in your seats right where you are, and then we'll close the gates. We'll keep it moving. I will say though, just so you know, just for timing purposes, whether you stay with me or you go about your day and you hang out in the prop plaza and get on a different tram, when you're ready to continue your tour and you jump on your tram, you only have about 10 to 15 minutes left of the tour once you leave this area. So just be mindful of that timing. If you maybe need to be on a tour bus by a certain amount of time, just be mindful, keep track of your time. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here today. Cars 3 and 4, when you exit, you're going to exit towards the front, towards me, so we can get you on the right path. Essentially, the path starts at this Glamour tram, which is actually one of our Glamour trams from 1964. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here today. My name is Tiffany, your driver's name is Joseph. If you plan to stay, just stay where you are. And have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Tika Dongi.
the view. Look at the old one. They remodeled it. Papa, look. Oh yeah. Oh wait, they're doing a Trinimator. Nice to see you again in close. In close. Yeah.
Norman Bates.
Oh. We got closer to him again. Now we're gonna be close to Norman Bates 2 times. The second one being. Let's go Psycho House.
¿Al carro o al Hollywood Sign? Hey, the picture.
Once we get loaded and underway, there's only about 15 minutes left of the tour, so we're pretty near.
Welcome back. Food.
Yo no sé qué están haciendo esto, Nico, que está bien.